Welcome to Bible Study with Fred. I'm in Proverbs chapter 20. I'm in the second part of my comments on verse 7. Verse 7 went like this: The just man walketh in his integrity, his children are blessed after him. So I hope you'll watch the video from yesterday or the last time I did it. So let's begin in part 2 now. What does God call a Christian parent to be and to do? I've often thought that the only good parenting you could actually be sure of is that looking at your baby, you would decide what kind of person you would like that child to be, and then you be that person. Ephesians 6:4. And ye fathers, provoke not your children to wrath, but bring them up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. Nurture and admonition, daily prayer, Bible reading, and devotions when they are young enough that they hunger to do anything with mommy and daddy. Colossians 3:21. Fathers, provoke not your children to anger, lest they be discouraged. You provoke a child to wrath and anger mostly by being inconsistent, by being a hypocrite in front of them, doing things you think you must do for Christ, which someone has told you, playing your part in your area of the Christian culture in which you live, but having nothing inside but anger and paranoia and fear. Okay, so you say, well, I didn't do it that way and my kids turned out all right. Yes, and I saw someone fall off a windmill tower once and not break a bone. But I wouldn't suggest tempting God as something to promote to other people. Your children are independent moral agents, but you have to live God's way in front of their eyes. Any parent knows you don't have to teach a child to do wrong. It's doing right they must learn. What about your speech? Ephesians 4:29. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. Your temper? Ephesians 4:26. Be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath. The way you treat your spouse? Ephesians 5:25. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it. Colossians 3:19. Husbands, love your wives and be not bitter against them. Ephesians 5:22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands, as unto the Lord. Your boss? Ephesians 6:6. Not with eye service as men pleasers, but as the servants of Christ, doing the will of God from the heart. Colossians 3:22. Servants, obey in all things your masters according to the flesh, not with eye service as men pleasers, but in singleness of heart, fearing God. Your government? Romans 13:1-6. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of God. The powers that be are ordained of God. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power resisteth the ordinance of God. They that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same. For he is a minister of God to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain. For he is a minister of God, a revenger, to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil. Wherefore you must needs be subject, not only for wrath, but also for conscience sake. For this cause pay ye tribute also, for they are God's ministers, attending continually upon this very thing. Your attitude in teaching toward it about money, entertainment, dress, and other things? 1 John 2:15-17. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of God abideth forever. There are many other things found within the pages of God's book that you will find if you read it, things like charity toward other Christians and people in general. But I focused on attitude, internal things first. If evidenced in you and in your life and attitude, will leave a legacy for your children's children. The question I hope you'll ask yourself as you go about your day is, do you walk in the integrity of your heart? Have your children seen the fruit of the Spirit in your life? What will you leave them? Now, as I said in my last video, I in no way am saying that I successfully followed these precepts. I failed miserably. So I am simply asking you, though, that you understand that you don't have to fail, especially you young people. You're starting out. Think about these things. Consider these things when you have children, which many of you will. So I do hope that you will read your Bible, study your Bible, cross-reference the verses, pray to God for wisdom and understanding, share your interpretation with someone else, open the Bible today and let God speak to you through his word. Now, you can purchase my comments on Amazon in Kindle or paperback form. But you can follow me on Blogger and just print them out if you like, or read them there. Um, but if you've watched this video this far, would you please click like and subscribe or follow, and also share the video with someone else? Thank you.